Ladies and gents, it's Pete Thorn. Hey, welcome to my home studio, and today's video is all about the Atlantic from the nice folks at Nux. This is a delay and reverb in one pedal. Now, these guys brought you the Cerberus recently, which was a multi-effect thingamajig pedal board that I did a review of on my channel. I thought it sounded great, and it's low-do, really good. I also did a review of a wireless for them recently. They're knocking it out of the park, coming up with all kinds of cool things. And so, reverb and delay in one pedal, that's a terrific thing, because it saves space on your pedal board. There's a few different reverb and delay types in this unit. Not a ton of voicing controls for either the reverb or delay. They keep it pretty simple when it comes to that. But out of the different delay and reverb types, you can definitely get some different tones and styles going, which is really nice. And I think it's kind of nice that the controls are so simple because there's not a lot you can screw up. It just sounds really good. You heard it on all the guitar parts and the bass too on the track at the beginning of the video. So let's talk about the delay first. Delay's on this side right here. This is the on-off switch for it, but it's also a tap tempo switch for the delay. Now somehow, ingeniously, once the delay's on and you start tapping it, it won't turn it off. It just knows that you're tap tempoing somehow. And then when you want to turn it off, you hit it once and it goes off. I don't know, it just works. It works really well. Then there's a delay subdivision knob here, so you can get like quarter notes, dotted eighths, eighth notes, all that good kind of stuff. So you can set the subdivision for the tap switch. So the only other controls for the delay are the level and the repeats. And that's it right there. And then you've got delay type switch up here, okay? So there's 70s, 80s, and 60s. So basically what you get there is 70s corresponds to like an analog delay, like bucket brigade style delay. 60s is more like a tape delay, and 80s is straight up digital delay. And they all sound quite different. You're gonna hear clearly, a couple minutes here, the difference between all those different delay types. And you can get the pedal to regenerate and do some really cool stuff, which you also heard in the track at the beginning of the video. Okay, let's talk about the reverb now. So on the reverb side, you've got three different types: a spring reverb, a plate reverb, and a hall reverb. And then the other controls for the reverb are level and decay. And that's all you get there. Now, in this switch right here, that turns on and off the reverb, but if you hold it down, it does something cool too. In the spring mode and also in the hall mode, it'll do a freeze function. Okay, so you can get like an endless sustain thing. Whatever you just played, just push that pedal down and it's gonna tail it out and hold it forever. So really nice for some ambient paddy kind of stuff. And then in the plate mode, if you hold the switch down, shimmer comes in. Really cool. So you get a whole bunch of different options there for different reverb voicings, and also some cool things happen when you hold down the switch. So what else we got here? On the back, you've got the input and then stereo outputs. Most of this video I did in stereo. Most of the parts you can really hear what happens in stereo and all that good stuff. You got two switches here, +4 and -10, so that's nice. So you should be able to match this pedal up to whatever you're going to plug into, be it the front of a guitar amp, or maybe you got a guitar amp with an effects loop that works good at line level, no problem. You're going to be able to get both things going with that switch. And then you got a switch here for series or parallel that lets you change the routing. I'm going to show clearly what that does in a minute, but essentially when you're in series mode, it's going to run the delay into the reverb, and then you can get kind of a more sort of softer delay effect, because as it's hitting the reverb, it's kind of tailing out. You know what I'm talking about, series effects. When you run them all into one another like you would on a pedal board, they kind of tend to blend together and give you a little bit more of a kind of blended, mushy kind of thing as the tails are trailing out. Whereas if you're running parallel, what you tend to get is you hear your reverb, and then you're going to hear very defined delay repeats. So it just depends on what you want to do. Also a USB port there, so you can plug in USB and do little updates and stuff like that via USB. And then you got the 9-volt DC power jack, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So what I want to do now is solo some of those parts from the track at the beginning of the video outside of the mix, detail some of the things that I did on each different part and the different delay types and reverb types I was using and stuff like that. And then I'm also going to play some different staccato kind of parts through the pedal, so you can clearly hear the different delay and reverb types, and also hear the shimmer and the hold functions on the different reverb types. Okay, let's get to it. Some sound examples of the Atlantic reverb and delay from Nux. Alrighty, there you have it, good people. It is the Atlantic delay and reverb from the nice folks at Nux. Simple delay and reverb in a single pedal. Who doesn't like that? Save space on your pedal board and it sounds just great. You can check it out further at the website that you see there on your screen. And hey, please hit subscribe. Come back, see me for more videos. I am Pete Thorn. Take care.